This is Rich Napier again with Napier Signature Homes, back at our job here in Tarrington, and we are now at the framing stage. We looked at this house before when we were at the foundation stage and told you a few things about the foundation and the waterproofing and whatnot, and now we're under the framing construction, and I wanted to point out a few details about framing and the techniques that we're using and stuff these days. Right now we're using a lot of engineered lumber in our homes versus a lot the way they were framed in years past, with like 2x8s and 2x10s. This engineered lumber is the floor joist system for the second floor that you see in the ceiling of this garage. And they're engineered I-beams that actually support more weight, have less deflection, and give you a stronger floor system than the traditional lumber methods. Another aspect is, instead of a lot of steel beams, we're now using products called microlams, which is, there's several of those nailed together right there that supports the heavy loads on bearing walls and whatnot, and they're a lot easier to handle on the job site as far as weight, and you can cut them with saws and stuff versus steel. You will notice there is a steel beam here where the garage doors will be, and that was mainly required due to the fact that we've got this is a brick house, and we've got the weight of all the brick being supported on the ledge of that steel beam as it goes up the wall all the way through to the second floor and the roof line. Normally, if you didn't have the weight of the brick, we would use microlams for this beam too. So this is really the only steel that we've got in the home. Whereas in past years, steel was quite common in houses, in garage areas, on large girder areas underneath the house to support the load and the bearing weight of the roof systems and stuff. Here's another example of how engineered lumber can help with long spans of stuff. Typically, homes are built with all front-to-back framing and a bearing wall going through the center of the house. With the new designs and open floor plans that people want, we can see side-to-side framing, and in the case here, front-to-back framing. And here's another example of a microlam supporting a heavy bearing load instead of a piece of steel. But by using the engineered lumber, we're able to make much longer spans than we could with conventional lumber, and that's why you're seeing a lot more of it in homes these days than years past. Now, we've been framing this house now for about 2 weeks, today in fact, and we probably got about 2 weeks more. We are now framing up into the second floor system and starting on the roof system. What we're looking at right now is the first floor framing, and once we get the house under roof and the stairs in, we will do a walkthrough with our customer, and they're really excited because now they can actually see what the house looks like versus looking at it on a set of drawings or a set of plans. And what happens next is all the vendors and stuff related to mechanicals, the cabinet folks will come in and lay out their designs on the floor so we can put the lights in the right places in the ceilings and make sure the plumbing and the heat ducts and whatnot do not interfere with lighting locations. And then we'll start with our heating and plumbing systems going in, then electrical, and once we finish all that, we'll insulate the house and start our drywall and then trimming it out. But that will take probably another month or two at the most to do those items. And then once we start sheetrock, we get into the trimming, like I mentioned, with the painting and getting towards finishing. But the customers at this point are getting excited because they can see the home coming out of the ground versus, like I said earlier, just being on a sheet of paper. And we can actually stand in the rooms and feel what your new home's going to be like.